Hey there, Shawna Karrasch here with an Ask Shawna answer coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. I'm here attending a Tony Robbins event. Okay, and doing clinic actually. I'm doing a clinic starting tomorrow. Okay, so it says, I have a question about bathing a horse. This comes from Brooke. Anyway, and Brooke says, I have a question about bathing a horse. I'm having a problem bathing my horse Diamond. I just got her and she has never had a bath before. She has no problem with the hose. She just doesn't like the water coming out of the hose. Do you have a solution to my problems? Yes, it's kind of funny because some horses just don't like the hose. It looks like a snake on the ground. Some don't like seeing the water come out. They don't understand that movement and what it is. Some don't like the wetness when it touches them. So there's a lot of elements there, but it's a good time of year to do it because it is hot and a lot of times the hose will feel good to them. So getting wet it'll make it more reinforcing because it's not like it's wintertime, it's cold, and they're like, I don't want to get colder. But a lot of times this time of year can actually feel good for them. So I would start by desensitizing the different parts. So you know that she's good about the hose moving around and being pulled around her. If she wasn't for any reason, what I would do is I would begin to have somebody else even do it. Teach her the target. You can use the clicker and the target. So the clicker tells her yes. So you can bookmark, you can tell her, yes, what you're doing right now is correct. In this situation, we're going to be looking for relaxation and basically ignoring the hose and the water and all those elements. So first, and then targeting can be really good because it can give her something to do. The target can become actually a bit of a security blanket for them. It can be something that they've done enough that it builds a reinforcement history through that classic conditioning, and then it'll become something that they really like. I just shared this story not that long ago in a post I did, and it was there's my horses Mitt and George. They were in their stall eating hay one day, and this was back when I had a barn in Maryland. And I had workers up in the hayloft, and they were doing something. I was like cleaning tack, not really paying attention, and something really loud happened up there. I mean, loud enough that I jumped. I jumped, they jumped, and when they jumped, both of them, they had stationary targets hung in their stall. So they're like, kind of like boat fenders in their stall. And so when that sound happened, they both lunged to their targets instantaneously. It's not like they colluded and said, hey, what do you think? They just instantly, when they heard the sound, they ran over to their targets. And then you saw them kind of come off and look around like, what just happened? But it was, and what I would normally do, when I would come to the stall door, I could say target, and they go hold on the target while I did whatever, enter, exit, put food in their bucket, and they would just hold until I clicked and told them, good job. And so they're very familiar with that, something they'd done a lot. But to see them run to that target was really interesting to me. But it showed me how when things got scary, it was a very safe place for them. So with using something like the desensitizing them or habituating them to things that might be strange or unusual, to have them touch on the target, you're giving them something to do kind of. So you're asking them to do something. But what we need to really be sure to do is just go ever so slowly. We don't want to cross over a threshold that makes them overly worried, because then they'll make the association, well, if I touch the target, that scary water is going to come at me. So we want to do it really slow, where we give them little levels, where we let them get accustomed to it and comfortable with it as we move closer. So that can be a tool that you can use too. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I feel the situation out, and how sometimes I just don't have all the hands to do it. But you could mount a target or have somebody else hold it. But anyway, so working really slow. So at first, make sure you can move the hose all around them. Have it way out there first. Don't get it too close, because what we want to find out through these kind of processes, we want to find out where that threshold is. Where is it that it changes from it's okay to it's scary, so it's, they're going along, they don't really notice, they don't really care, but they get to a certain distance and they start saying, uh-oh, what's happening there? When we get to that point, and it's not when they jump and are all big, just when I see them go, uh-oh, what's that? I just see them become aware of it. That to me says now it's in their periphery. Now it's in their vision. Now we've reached threshold. So I want to continue to stay under threshold. If we go too over threshold, a lot of times what happens, then they're just going to jump, bolt, overreact, and we don't really have something we can work with, because a lot of times they lose their noodle. Like they can't think anymore, because now the fear is taken over and they're just in flight mode or panic mode, and then we just have to break it back down and rebuild those steps. So I try to make it where when I first see them, just kind of become aware of it, say, okay, good, and I don't move past wherever that hose was, that action is, that object is, the water spraying is, whatever it is. I don't move any closer until I feel them really relax with that stage. Right now, they're just like, yeah, I'm not worried about it all. When I get them really relaxed at that stage, then I move on to a little bit closer. a little bit closer, a little bit closer. So you just want to do it in those small increments. And I don't look to do it overnight. I'd like you to do, just do like little 3-5 minute sessions. Give them, a few sessions a day if you can, but just really short and sweet, and say, that's good. That's all you had to do. Here's a lot of reinforcement for it. So you're clicking them as you see them relaxed, as you see them, and the clicker tells them, yes, what you've just done is correct. So you can really draw attention to that moment. So when you kind of see them like this and looking a little worried, but you see her go, I guess that's not so bad. That slight relaxation, whether it's the jaw, it's the eyes, it's the lips, it's the face, it's the neck position, it's the shoulders, it's the, you just all those little components, the ears, all of it together kind of signals relaxation. So you look for it just to get a little bit more relaxed, and you see her kind of go, well, that's not so bad. I click and reinforce that relaxation. So you want to take the process of relaxing. And then when you got her, making sure, double checking she's good with the hose moving all around. And even then, taking the time to make sure she's good with the hose all around will make the hose have its own good reinforcement history, because you've taken the time and let her get used to it. If she stays really afraid of the water, pretty soon she'll say, I don't want to be near the hose, because the hose makes the water. So you can actually make it bad or good. So by just taking around, say, let's just get used to the hose, no water, that's good. Next thing I do is then have it with the water on. But keep the water not going towards her at all. So she gets to see it kind of off and doing things, and first just have it dribbling if she's fine with that, and have it facing away from her so it's not coming at her and feeling, not feeling threatened by it. And then having it just moving around and moving around. And then when that's all going good, you can get it a little bit, and remember, keep it that threshold, below threshold. And at some point you may go over, that's okay, just take the steps back and think, okay, the threshold wasn't where I thought, I gotta go lower. And then just move it around. You can do both sides, and so you can get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, until she's good with it right next to her. Take the time, and again, she's going to be the one to gauge the progress, not us. So don't get your own agenda. You got to look at her and think she's not ready, and I'm just not going to do it, or just going to do these short, sweet little sessions and let that be it. And then get closer and closer when she's good, and you can splash, and it's all around her. The next step is letting her feel it. So I turn it down to the smallest trickle. If you have warm water, it will be better, because it'll be more comfortable and less shocking. I mean, I think we all get a little shocking when we have that cold water touch us, even on a really hot day. At first, like, woo! And so if you have warm water, that helps. But a lot of barns, we don't. So just what I do is start by just, usually where they're best is down on their legs. So start at the hoof, letting it touch her hoof. As she's good with that, click and reinforce, good relaxation. Then move up to just, her coronet band, and slowly get it where she can feel it going, and move up, to her legs, and then move on from there and move on. And again, break this down over time. And keep in mind, when she gets to a point, at first it may be really nerve-wracking for her, because she's like, I hate this, I hate this. So we want to go really slow where we don't get to that point. But one of the things we can do to help make it reinforcing, say that's all we have to do, just a little bit there, and then leave it. So keep those sessions, I'm talking like 3 to 5 minutes. Keep them really short and really sweet, heavily reinforced for it. So you're really building up. It's like scales are out of whack. Right now she says, I hate the water. There's a lot of weight on this side scale. Pretty soon as we put a reinforcement on here, every time we get a reinforcement in there, we increase the likelihood of seeing this new behavior, which is relaxed and calm when the water's there, as opposed to jumping when the water's there. So we're kind of got scales that we need to rebalance. And just by doing those little itty bitty things, we give them a chance to process it and think through it, and they'll be better the next time. So go slow. I think I covered it. All right, Brooke, I hope that helped you out with your little horse. And if you have any questions as you're going along with her, and she's new to you, so you may come across new questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me at AskShawna.com or ShawnaKarrasch.com or my Ask Shawna Facebook page. All right, guys, until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye-bye.